Hi everyone, my name is Crystal Dawn Hill and today is June 29th, 2019. I recently had someone ask me my opinion about doppelgangers, and I thought instead of writing it all out in a private message, I would just do a video on it. So, when I was little, I noticed and was very observant of things that other people around me didn't seem to pick up on or notice or pay attention to. And one of those things was that there always seemed to be like certain people who reminded me of other people. It would be a physical characteristic like a facial feature or a mannerism or something like that, or it would be something more subtle, like their stature or their expression or something like that. So I would say to people, God only has so much of an imagination. He had to start kind of like carbon copying people. Case in point, me, I have a personal story that goes, like when I was in school, people used to always call me Cindy. And they asked me if I had when I said I'm not Cindy, they'd say, well, you must have a sister because you are like the carbon copy of Cindy. And I never knew who this Cindy was and never, could figure out like who it was or why people thought we were sisters. Fast forward up until just a few years ago, I was working in retail and I encountered this woman who somehow, without going into detail, she learned my last name and felt like we were blood related. And it turned out that we were very distant cousins. And we became friends after that. And we are built the same. We have the same skin color. We have the same hair color. We have the same taste in home decor, in clothing. Our morals are similar. Our voices, our voices are practically identical. We even got eyeglasses before I went blind, of course. We even got eyeglasses around the same time, and we ended up with the same frames. Not the exact same frames, but very similar in style and color and so forth. So, I guess that would be an example. Another experience I had was also when I was working in retail. I had this one customer who came through my line quite regularly, and we kind of developed a bit of a rapport. And then another time I waited on this other woman who looked practically identical to her. And I said, oh my gosh, you look just like one of my regular customers. And she said, really? I'm not even like from this area. And we got to talking. Well, I guess she felt comfortable enough with me to share that she actually was from New York, but that she had a sister who lived in the area. And I don't remember if one or both of them had been adopted out, but they knew of each other. And the woman that I waited on, who was from New York, wanted to get in touch with the other woman to find out for sure if they could be sisters. So fast forward, I guess, a few months, the regular customer came through my line, and I told her the story, and I think they ended up let's see, how did it go? It's been so long ago, like probably 30 years ago. But essentially, they did find out that they were sisters, but the one of them, the other one, didn't want to be in touch. So it was, I don't even remember if they were twins or if they were just siblings, but the resemblance was striking, even for siblings. And so I suppose they could have been like fraternal twins. Okay, so on to my opinion about doppelgangers, as it stands now, in the spiritual sense, looking at it through that perspective. I believe that we all are fragments of the same soul essence. And I believe that everything is happening at one time. And depending on, and I'm not just rambling or saying things like parroting anything. I've always intuited this, just not to the degree that I am able to intuit it now. So, because everything is happening at one time, we all are essentially the same. Our perspective on everything is what differentiates us. But what I've discovered in my journey of being a very curious soul and really relishing in what makes people tick, and learning about people and learning, it's all been self-discovery. Like every person that I've ever asked questions of or tried to get to know or anything like that, it's always essentially turned back to me and been a matter of me learning more about myself and who I truly am. So, with that being said, if we spend enough time getting to know a person, we find that we have more similarities than we do differences. And many times the differences that we do have are so superficial that once you learn to go deeper, it's silly to even look at those differences at all or take them into any consideration whatsoever. So I believe that our perception is what creates differences, even physical or physiological differences. So I think when we notice, excuse me, I don't know why I'm hoarse this morning. Even physiological differences, I think if we spend time with a person and we begin to see them inside, we don't see the outward differences as much. We begin to see similarities. And we can also see those similarities between other people. And so the original question, like, what is it when one person reminds us of another person? It could be reasons I explained earlier, that they actually are related and there's a genealogical reason for them to be similar. But it could also be because there's something similar about their energy or their soul essence, and that's manifesting to the observer like a physical similarity. So for instance, I have always been told I have pretty eyes. I don't think they are anymore because I can't see through them and they don't reflect light the way they used to. And I don't wear makeup, and eyeliner always made them stand out. I don't wear makeup most of the time. So, and other people also have pretty eyes. So it more has to do with the light that's coming from inside my soul out through my eyes. So the more spiritual I've become, the more the light emanates from me, not just my eyes, but my skin, my smile, and that kind of thing. So if a person reminds someone of another person, it could be a physical similarity, but more than likely it's going to be because those two people have something in common on a deeper, more intrinsic or abstract level. And the reason that they might end up looking the same is because of various reasons, like their upbringing. They might be of a similar weight because they were brought up on similar eating habits, or exercise habits or lack thereof. It might be because they're from a similar culture, a similar topography or climate, that their skin is weathered in a similar way. Like, for example, I noticed when I lived in the South that a lot of the women who had a nice tan looked a bit leathered. So that could also be their ancestry that would cause their skin to react to the sun that way. So it could just be a myriad of different reasons or explanations. I guess we'll never really know for sure or pinpoint a specific reason why there are doppelgangers or why there is the phenomenon of doppelgangers. But just like any other mystery or mysterious phenomenon in this world, we can all come up with our theories and our own conclusions about things, but essentially it's just being here is just a mystery, and we'll never have all the answers that we yearn for. So the main thing is to just go within, and when you have questions or have dilemmas or trying to make decisions or work through things in your life, just go within, and the most accurate answers and the most appropriate and significant answers for you are going to be inside of you, where the Holy Spirit speaks. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on this, and I appreciate you continuing to follow along in my journey. I wish you all the best on your journey as well, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.